Welcome. In this video, we're going to implement the mechanism in 3D Gaussian splatting that models the fact that the color is dependent on the viewing direction. Okay, so that's a very important mechanism. We really need to incorporate that in our scene representation if we want the ability to capture real scene with the real physical properties. Okay, so that's very important in NeRF in Gaussian splatting. In my latest video, we had a look at the mathematical formulation of spherical harmonics, which is what is used in Gaussian splatting to model this view-dependent color. In this video, we're going to focus on the code. But if you want a more mathematical background, you can have a look at my latest video. So let's dive into the implementation. At the moment, I'm focusing on implementing Gaussian splatting with PyTorch only, so with no C++, no CUDA, so that everything is very easy to understand without any external libraries or any C++. If you're interested, I have a course on that. I will put the link in the description. But yeah, let's focus on this part. On this part alone, that is coming from my course on that models the view-dependent color. So first here you see that we are just hard-coding a few coefficients. So again, all those coefficients were derived in my latest video. So I explained where they were coming from. So basically here you can see I'm just hard-coding those values. And now you can see that to model each of the spherical harmonics coefficients or the basis function, if we are more rigorous on the mathematical name, you can see here we just have a few polynomials. So I've hard-coded the coefficients. Now we will need to implement each of those yij values. So basically what I'm going to do, okay, sorry, maybe that was a bit early to discuss that. We're going to come back to that in a moment. But basically we can implement this evaluate sh function, which takes as input fdc. So these are three values coming from the Gaussian splatting representation. So Gaussian splatting is 59 parameters, fdc is 3 parameters, frest is 45 parameters. So those two variables alone are 48 parameters. So more than 80% of all the 3D Gaussian splatting parameters. Then with the points, these are the means of the Gaussians. On camera world, this is the parameters of the camera. So basically based on the camera location, evaluate sh will return a different color. So basically we model the fact that the color will evolve when the camera changes, when the viewpoint changes. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to reshape fdc on frest. Again, I've on one side 3 values, on the other side 45 values. Sorry. If you've seen my latest video, you know that when we use spherical harmonics with the grid tree, that's what we do with Gaussian splatting. We have 16 basis functions to encode. But here with Gaussian splatting, we have 3 color channels. So we have the RGB, red, green, and blue channels. So basically we have 16 components times 3, so that's 48 parameters. So basically that's why with Gaussian splatting we have 48 parameters just to model the view-dependent color. It's because we need to store the coefficient of this function that we want to evaluate at inference time. So I'm repacking those Gaussian parameters into those sh into this sh variable, and now we can do what I explained at the beginning of the video. We can we can encode or create variables for each of those yij. So I will need xy, yz. I will need those polynomials. And basically, what is x, y, z? These are the viewing direction. So there are 2 ways to model the viewing direction. Either I'm using theta on phi, or I can also use work in Cartesian coordinates. On the therefore I'm working with x, y, z. So basically x, y, z are the viewing direction. So what I need to do from my 3D Gaussian means on my camera world, I need to compute the viewing direction. So basically it's just the vector between the Gaussian position to the camera world location, because the camera world matrix is a 4x4 matrix. on basically the last column, on the first three values, are the vector that we call the vector t. So basically it's the position of the camera. Then because it's a vector, I can normalize it to have a unit direction, and then I can just extract the x, y, z components. Because we have complex polynomials, sometimes we have, you can see sometimes we have x, y, z. To make the code a bit easier to read later, I'm already creating some variables such as xx, yy, zz, and so on and so forth. And now I can encode all of those basis functions. So again, because we're using spherical harmonics with degree 3 with 16 components, so basically I'm creating all those 16 components, I'm stacking them into a single variable, and now I can compute the final value. So basically I can compute this sum. I will not dive into the details, I did that in my latest video, so you can have a look at it. But basically now I can just do the multiplication of y with my sh values. So basically I'm doing the multiplication between sh and y. Basically I'm implementing that sum, and I'm taking the sigmoid of it because I want to make sure that my color is always between 0 and 1. Okay, so I really hope this video was helpful too to understand a bit how we implement the fact that every time the camera position changes, or the viewpoint changes, we modify the color of the Gaussians, the color, the feature we're going to splat. So I really hope it was helpful too to understand that. It's one part of my course on 3D Gaussian splatting. I will put the link in the description, and if you're interested, I will be happy to see you there. Thank you.